Hi all, I'm going to quickly talk to you based on the topic straight off the bat of what it reads, based on people's attitudes towards exclusion. If you don't like it, leave. Basically, I've heard this many jurisdiction time before, as well as in saying this many stories and cases. I've heard from others as well as in saying this, experiencing in myself for so long about people's attitudes towards others that are different, either on the spectrum or off the spectrum, if they've got any special needs, be it if they're Down syndrome, be it if they're, got cystic fibrosis or whatever it may be, that some people may be accepting of others and some may not. And sometimes some people choose to be accepting of others by choice. However, I've also noticed that some people can basically, as saying this, if they were choosing to be accepting or not, sometimes they're yet unsure of how to respond or treat others that are different, no matter who and what they are as a person, basically. But my question is, do we really know what exclusion is or the difference between this as well as inclusion? But I've defined exclusion as a reminder to us all that it's an act or instance of excluding the state of being excluded. So therefore exclusion is to prevent or restrict the entrance of or to bar from participation or inclusion. So this is for me where the exclusion part comes to take place. Forgive me if I go this on the wrong way, but in today's world or in today's society, so to exclude people and not to be exclusive like they used to be. Why is today's society so harsh on each other but yet so nice at the same time? I guess it depends on how you are raised and how you were brought up with your values and morals and how you value others and respect others, as well as just respecting everything else in between based on how you respect others' feelings and emotions, as well as valuing them. For when you include someone, you accept their emotions, you accept their feelings, you accept for who and what they are, accept the type of person and love them nonetheless. This is called obviously unconditional love. Exclusion in the instance of bullying is to separate from one person to another their values. Exclusion is the lack of self-esteem and lack of self-confidence and the lack of self-control. It's being obvious that the bully has the utter lack of self-control because they are being exclusive and intolerable to people around them and who are nice, especially, and who are brought up the right way. Because in my opinion, people who are bullies has even been bullied by someone they know or who they were friends with, or they were bullied by someone within their family group or member. So they have to take it out on someone else, right? They find someone else who feel they can control and obviously pick the weakest link or the weakest target in this case. They find that someone who they can feel control and who they can feel superior of, and that will then start to, bully that person. When did that become such a serious issue though, however? When did bullying and exclusivity of people of separation became an issue to the point to where it has to have an end result of being suicide, or someone being hospitalized, or some being interrogated when they are not the victim, when in actuality they are, when they are the bullied victim. But that yet the ones that are interrogated when it's the bully's fault to start off with, to begin with, because they were doing the bullying. When did schools become so exclusive to the point to where they feel that instead of sticking up for their students and teaching them right from wrong, where they should be in school? When did schools become so exclusive to the point where they feel they have to sweep bullying under the carpet and not stick up for the teachers or the students who are at their schools? When did schools become so exclusive to the point where they have no emotions or lack thereof with the students that are in their schools, to where they feel they have to sweep bullying under the carpet, basically, and not teach preventive measures, as well as having that rule of they don't have that no bullying tolerance campaign? When did schools become so exclusive to the point where they do not allow or teach bullying education in their schools to show what is right and wrong, what is acceptable and what is intolerable, to those who are in that school. When did society become of the age to when bullying became so intolerable that students have to bear it at their school to the point where they have to be taken out of school in order to have an education? When did society become so exclusive that schools and school administration and higher ups like superintendents have to be so rude and crude and not live up to the potential of protecting their students within their schools and keep sweeping bullying under the carpet and not protect the students? What angers me the most here, though, as well as hurt me, is mostly the attitude towards or to others, however, that if you don't like it, then leave. And where I've come across this statement from others is from schools, friends, work colleagues, teachers, businesses, organisations, and so on and so forth, that I've been involved with, or others trying to be involved with, to participate and get involved in the community to belong somewhere. As I'm trying to do here, and this word you're hearing, trying, can't stress it enough, to really try hard to fit in and blend in, when I know in reality I don't have to fit in and blend into the social cliques that's, being popular there. I now know that I can stand up for myself and actually be proud of who and what I am, because I am obviously maybe a black sheep amongst these white sheep. I try my very hardest, though, to participate in the everyday communities, groups, or what have you, if I've been told about in the community that I'm in, of community events. I'm trying my very darn hardest and best to access the services I may need for myself, basically, as well as to better improve myself and to prove myself in the real world of what is to come, for what I am to become as well. I'm trying my darn hardest to make friends. Obviously, as I said, it's still an everyday struggle, but I'm still here and breathing. I'm trying to make contact with others anywhere possible, regardless if it's on the screen or off the screen. I try my hardest to find a way that works for me to participate with everyday activities that others are doing. When sometimes myself or anyone that is most likely autistic is asking or receiving from others in return is rude and incredibly lazy of the people thinking or saying it in a way that is, I don't want to have to bother you, or with that, and maybe you should give up. Maybe you don't need friends, maybe you don't need the healthcare system and treatment you need. Maybe you don't need the education, maybe you don't need to go to some public spaces or places and events that is happening. Maybe you don't need a job, and the list grows. All these things that we hear about, that we all are, some of us are taking for granted, however, are stripped away from us or others who just think that we are either not good enough or don't deserve to be in an environment that involves interacting with people. As we know that for everyone, interaction is important with people to gain more friendships, trust, building of companionship, building of certain relationships, and so much more. In saying this, that there are often a lot of barriers for us autistics, as well as some of the hurdles that we have to come across or go through and endure from others in everyday situations we face that involves us to participate, and that we feel that we face these on a daily as an everyday struggle by people's attitudes towards us of exclusion. Others can't see it as sometimes they are the ones that doesn't cause some friction and some difficulties for us when we want to be involved and feel included in anything that we can do on the daily. As for us autistics, however, who are advocating for ourselves to make it a better fit for us, for a little bit of flexibility and understanding, empathy and inclusion can be frustrating for a lot of us, to the point is that we may end up giving up and isolating ourselves from the group, that will also lead to many other problems, such as basically suicide, depression, and other mental health problems that will occur. And saying this also, just to hear the attitude of, well, I don't think I am the best service for you. Let's give you an example to explain it more here for you guys. Let's say that your child has special needs and you're trying to find a school that will be accepting of them, of their difference, and then when you come to meet the principal and teachers to have a quick meeting to sit down and talk to see what they can help or you can help to better these needs and meet the needs for your child. Then you hear the dreaded words, I'm not sure we have the capability to meet your needs. I don't think that we're a good fit. It's in your best interest to find someone else. You may have heard this time and time again as a parent or a carer when you are looking for a school that is inclusive of others. This isn't good enough, as we know that the parents, carers are doing their best for the children to get the right education and training in their children's life to better themselves and prepare what is to come in the real big world. To me, this isn't good enough. I can't stress it enough. Why is this, you may be asking? This is basically saying to me, you don't belong here, and will be not making an effort to include you and make our services accessible to you. And when this has happened to a few times in my life while growing up, regardless in schools or outside of school, and still sometimes to this day I face this dilemma. I get frustrated and angry about this, along with other mixed emotions, and I get a few comments from my friends and some parts of my family and so on and so forth. Why don't you go with your feet and just look at it this way, that the company or organisation is treating you this way, go somewhere else. If this employer is treating you this way, go somewhere else. So obviously, as you can see, their solution is go find somewhere else to feel accepted and included in that. It does make sense, doesn't it? And it's maybe simple for many of us to do up and leave if, they're not treating me the right way, you may be saying. I won't give them my business time, etc., right? But at the end of the day, how I look at it and feel is that I, for one, as many other autistics as well, like me, don't have that many options that are left, though, as we may not have nowhere else to go. As again, no matter where we go, if we tried, we're likely to get the thoughts and attitudes from others that we are not a good fit, or I may not be a good fit. I don't think that we can accommodate you and your needs. And that's why I'm passionate about what I'm doing right now, right here on my channel, as well as keep trying, even if certain situations that I face may not work out for me. I've learned also in saying this, if it doesn't work for me, just keep a positive attitude and mindset with the right positive support system I have in place, so to speak. And if I can and want to, if I need be, I will try and find a possible solution. If I can't, just then, find a solution. If need be, then I'll just have to learn and let go and say to myself, okay, this didn't work and I can't control the situation that I'm facing. Time to let go and breathe and start again in a different way. This attitude from some of the others that I've spoken to or met is saying to me, though, basically, when I come and meet people, when it comes down to trying to include others, we don't serve your kind here. We don't want to accommodate you. We don't wish for you to participate in our business, no matter what it is. Some of the things that we are talking about here of the major important things in our lives, like going to school, making friends, or trying to build up a friendship or relationship with people around us, and going to some places that we like to go as a hobby or interest in this case. You see, where I am at the moment, I am trying to do my very darn hardest for advocacy on my channel, as you know, and for inclusion, flexibility, removing the stigma, and so much more, as I try to find as many possible solutions while doing so. Yes, it can be difficult in trying to find the needs to be met of others, as including myself. The degree of flexibility and inclusion is important to me and should be for others that does advocate for others to make anything accessible that needs to be accessed. I'm privileged that I have a voice and speak out my opinions and thoughts to try and advocate for myself. However, basically, what irks me is that the knowledge that one of me that doesn't have a power or useful voice to advocate for themselves, to be included or feel included. So this is one of the reasons why I get angry about other people's attitudes towards exclusion versus inclusion. If you don't like it, then leave perspective. It may sound ugly enough on the inside, but this is limiting, as this denies people access to the right accommodation and needs for themselves, as well as the support services as well. To end this, as I say, I can't stress it enough that all autistics want to be included and feel accepted in many groups. Yet we face a lot of barriers no matter what we do or go and turn to. Participation for everyone is important. So in this case, if you see anybody that is autistic or is different, try and include them in the group and feel loved and accepted. You never know, they could teach you some life lessons along the way.